Right, so get this. Our deep dive today, well, you guys requested it. It's AI and Carrom. Kind of a weird combo, right? But stick with us. It gets really interesting. We got a bunch of articles actually about this app. It's called BitAIM, plus some blogs, talking about AI and how it's changing games in general. Oh, and a few FAQs too. Some of those had us scratching our heads a little bit. But
Yeah.
okay, so picture this. You're playing Carrom Pool on your phone, and you really want to, pull off some of those crazy, like, trick shots. That's where BitAIM comes in. It's an Android app, and it says it uses AI to, like, analyze the board and, basically guide you to victory.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, how BitAIM is trying to like bring together the precision of a computer
Yeah.
with, the intuition of a human player. And Carrom, like at its heart, it's all about angles and physics and predicting how those coins are going to, move across the board.
Exactly. And get this, BitAIM even talks about teaching these hacker shots. They don't really explain how they work exactly, but I mean, just the name alone, right, makes you wonder, like, is it going to reveal some kind of secret Carrom strategy? Something that, like, blows our minds?
Yeah, the mystery of these hacker shots is definitely intriguing. I mean, it suggests that, BitAIM might be using AI to like uncover strategies, ones that humans might miss completely or maybe find too complex to figure out in real time.
Okay, so before we get, totally lost in the world of super secret Carrom techniques, let's break down what we know about BitAIM. So apparently, one of the coolest features is this precision aiming thing. So you're lining up your shot, right? And bam, a laser line just appears on your screen, showing you exactly where your striker needs to go. It's like having a cheat code for perfect angles.
Yeah, this precision aiming feature is a great example of how AI can, give you that real-time feedback and maybe speed up the learning process. I mean, by seeing that ideal path, players can start to, internalize those patterns and develop their own intuition faster.
And it goes way beyond just that first shot. You know, BitAIM also has this like extended path visualization, which basically predicts how all the coins are going to bounce and scatter after your striker hits them. Just imagine being able to plan out like a whole chain reaction of shots, sinking coins left and right.
That's some impressive predictive analysis. It suggests that BitAIM is probably using some pretty sophisticated machine learning algorithms to model how those coins interact on the board. It's going way beyond just simple physics
It's
calculations.
like having a Carrom oracle right in your pocket.
In a way, yeah. It's really interesting to think about how this kind of AI assistance could change the way people learn and master a skill-based game like Carrom.
And get this, BitAIM even has a feature that tracks your progress, showing you, what you're good at and what you need to work on. It's like having a personal Carrom coach, like analyzing your every move.
Yeah, personalized learning experiences powered by AI are becoming more and more common. This kind of analysis could help players, focus their practice on specific areas where they need to improve, which could lead to, faster skill development.
Okay, but the part that really blew my mind is the shot recording and replay feature. You can actually save your, most epic shots, those moments of Carrom brilliance, and even replay them to analyze your technique or, just show off to your friends.
That's a really smart way to bring deliberate practice into the gameplay. By recording and reviewing their shots, players can spot those little mistakes, experiment with different variations, and really refine their technique over time. It's a valuable tool for anyone who's serious about, taking their Carrom game to the next level.
It's almost like, those pro athletes who study game film
Yeah.
to like break down their performance and find an edge. Now, you're probably thinking, all this AI wizardry has got to come with a hefty price tag, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising, given how sophisticated it seems to be.
Well, get ready for this. BitAIM has both a free version and a premium version. And the crazy thing is, even the free version is packed with useful tools. I was honestly surprised by how much you get for free.
Yeah, that freemium model is a smart move. It lets them reach a wider audience, while still offering, those premium features for people who want the full experience.
Now, I know some people get a little, nervous about using third-party apps, especially with their favorite games. But from everything we've read, BitAIM is totally safe to use. And it won't get your Carrom Pool account banned, so you don't have to worry about, getting in trouble while you're trying to master those trick shots.
Yeah, it's good to know that they've addressed those security concerns and are putting user safety first.
So we've talked about this, precision aiming and extended pass visualization. But apparently, BitAIM can help you with a whole bunch of different shot types. We're talking direct shots, indirect shots, even these bounce shots that sound, I don't know, kind of like something out of a trick shot highlight reel.
Yeah, the variety of shot types really shows how deep Carrom is as a game. Mastering those advanced techniques often takes, an intuitive understanding of geometry and physics
Hmm.
and timing.
Oh, for sure. And they even mentioned brush shots, which honestly, I have no idea what those are,
Yeah.
but they sound pretty fancy.
Yeah, it seems like BitAIM is trying to give players a full set of tools, no matter their skill level, from the basics to those more, kind of specialized techniques.
And then there are those hacker shots,
Hmm.
which we've already mentioned, but our sources were really quiet about the details. It makes you wonder, like, what exactly are these hacker shots? Are we talking about, like, bending the laws of physics, exploiting glitches in the game?
Yeah, it definitely adds an element of mystery to BitAIM.
Yeah.
Are these hacker shots really innovative techniques, or are they just clever ways to take advantage of how the game works?
The plot thickens. And to make things even more interesting, there's this feature called Lulubox Line Extended that lets BitAIM work with another app. It's called Lulubox Pro. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but it's definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah, it seems like there's a whole ecosystem of tools and modifications growing around Carrom Pool, and BitAIM is right at the center of it.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, there's another app called AIM Carrom. And guess what? It's also using AI to, enhance gameplay. Looks like the AI-assisted Carrom scene is really heating up.
Yeah, the fact that there are multiple apps popping up shows that there's a real demand for AI-powered tools in skill-based games.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but before we go any further, I think it's time to address the elephant in the room.
Yes. The big question hanging over this whole discussion.
Exactly. Does using AI actually make you a better Carrom player? Or does it take away from the skill and strategy that make the game so fun in the first place?
It's a good question, and while AI can, for sure, make some parts of the game better, there's a risk. Like, if you rely on these tools too much, could it actually stop you from getting really good at Carrom?
Yeah, like isn't part of the fun of Carrom? Or any game, really. Getting better, coming up with your own strategies, and having those moments where you're like, whoa, I can't believe I just did that.
Exactly. It's like learning an instrument. Sure, you could use software to like auto-tune every note, but would that really make you a musician? The real skill is in training your ear and developing your technique and expressing yourself through the music.
That's a perfect analogy. It might sound technically perfect, but you'd be missing the soul, the artistry, the human part of it. You know what makes music so powerful?
And in Carrom, relying too much on AI could lead to a similar problem. If you're always using Baton to, calculate the perfect angle and predict every bounce, you might never develop that intuitive understanding of the game's physics. That lets you improvise and adapt when something unexpected happens.
Yeah, it's like the difference between following a recipe and really understanding how to cook. You might be able to follow the instructions and make something decent,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't be able to create something new or experiment or really express your creativity in the kitchen.
And that ability to adapt is so important in Carrom. Imagine you're in a close match, and your opponent does something you didn't expect, something that messes up all the calculations BitAIM made. If you've been depending on the AI too much, you might freeze up. You wouldn't know how to change your strategy on the fly.
So it's all about balance, right? We want to use AI to improve our skills and try new things, but we don't want to become so dependent on it that we lose what makes the game fun and challenging.
Absolutely. It's like using a calculator. It's helpful for complicated math, but if you use it all the time, you might forget how to do basic arithmetic.
Yeah, you lose that mental sharpness, that ability to figure things out on your own.
Exactly. And with Carrom, that mental sharpness is what lets you, anticipate your opponent's moves, think a few steps ahead, and outsmart them with clever strategies.
So where does that leave us? AI is definitely making a big impact on Carrom and other games like it. But how do we make sure it's used responsibly in a way that actually makes the human experience better instead of making it worse?
That's a question we're thinking about. I think the key is to see AI as a training partner, a tool to help us reach our full potential, not something to lean on all the time.
Like training wheels on a bike. They help you get started. But eventually you got to take them off to really learn how to balance and ride on your own.
Exactly. And in the same way, AI tools like BitAIM can give you valuable guidance and help you learn faster. But the goal should be for players to really learn those skills and develop their own expertise.
So it's not about letting AI play the game for us. It's about using AI to train our brains and become better players ourselves.
Exactly. It's about using the power of AI to become more intuitive, more creative Carrom players.
Now, I can't help but wonder what this means for the future of Carrom and other games that are all about skill, are we going to see a world where everyone's pulling off those insane trick shots, all thanks to AI?
That's an interesting thought. It's possible that AI could level the playing field in a way, letting players of all skill levels do shots that used to be considered too hard.
Imagine tournaments where everyone is doing those hacker shots. It would be like watching a Carrom exhibition of, like, superhuman abilities.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. And it raises questions about how we define skill. In a world where AI is becoming more and more a part of our games,
Right, because if everyone has access to AI, does skill become more about knowing how to use the AI instead of just mastering the game itself?
that's a really good point. It's like the debate about using calculators in math class. Some people say that calculators let students focus on bigger concepts without getting bogged down in, boring calculations, while others worry that they stop students from learning basic math skills.
So there's no easy answer. There are things to consider on both sides. And it's a conversation that needs to keep happening as AI gets more sophisticated, more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that AI is just a tool. It's how we use that tool that will really decide its impact on the future of Carrom and other games.
Now, before we move on, I wanted to go back to those mysterious hacker shots for a second. We've talked around it a bit, but I'm still really curious about what they are.
Me too. Our sources were pretty secretive about the details.
It's like they're guarding some secret Carrom treasure map.
Maybe, but judging by the name, I think they probably involve techniques that are pretty unusual. Maybe even, taking advantage of certain parts of the game in a way that most players wouldn't think of.
Like those glitches in video games that let you skip levels or do impossible things.
Exactly. It's the kind of thing that would make you look like a Carm wizard, bending the rules with your AI-powered skills.
Now I'm even more curious. Maybe we need to do some more research, find a BitAIM expert and get them to tell us all about these hacker shots.
That's a great idea. We could even challenge them to a friendly Carrom match and see these hacker shots in action.
I'm in. But just so you know, I've been practicing my AI-assisted trick shots.
We'll see about that. I might have a few tricks of my own.
Oh, it's on.
It seems like our deep dive has led to a new mission to uncover the secret of the hacker shots and explore this constantly changing world of AI-assisted Carrom.
This is getting exciting. But before we get too carried away, we should take a minute to gather our thoughts and get ready for the last part of our Carrom journey. Okay, so we're back, and wow, that last part was intense, right? We've been going deep on AI and Carrom, and it's pretty clear that this tech is changing things up. But before we get too caught up in all the, fancy features and trick shots, I think we should remember what makes this game so great in the first place.
Yeah, you're right. Carrom, at its heart, is all about finesse, strategy, and, that little bit of luck that keeps things exciting.
It's kind of like chess, right? Even with, like, supercomputers figuring out millions of moves, it's the human players who bring the passion and the mind games,
Yeah.
the moments of brilliance that make chess so captivating.
Exactly. No matter how advanced AI gets, it can't replace the human element. The intuition, the creativity, the thrill of outsmarting your opponent, you can't program that stuff.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave you with something to think about. If AI can master a game like Carrom, what other, seemingly human skills could it be amazing at in the future?
That's a question that gets you excited, but also a little unsure, right? We're already seeing AI doing incredible things with art, music, even writing.
I mean, who knows what's next? Maybe we'll have AI chefs cooking award-winning meals, AI athletes breaking world records. Kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
And maybe AI therapists giving personalized advice, AI teachers creating custom lessons for each student. The possibilities are huge and maybe a little bit scary, like you said.
It's a future full of potential, but we have to make sure we're shaping it the right way.
Yeah, making sure AI is used to help people and make things better, not to replace us or make us less.
Yale said. And hey, if AI can help us all become Carrom masters along the way, maybe that's not such a bad thing, right?
I wouldn't mind having a few AI-powered trick shots up my sleeve.
So if you're feeling curious after this deep dive, definitely check out BitAIM and maybe even AIM Carrom. You might just discover a hidden Carrom talent you never knew you had.
And what better way to test those new skills than by challenging a friend to a Carrom match? See who can master those AI-assisted shots first. It's a fun way to try out this new kind of gaming while still enjoying a classic game.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI and Carrom. Until next time, keep those minds curious and keep those strikers hitting those coins.